Hello, it's Zoe Linafelt, APR, Immediate Past President of the FPRA Capital Chapter. I have been thinking about what I want to include in my APR testimonial, and I figured I should be completely honest. The first reason that caught my eye to get my APR was to get the letters after my name, which is not the most prestigious, but I just couldn't wait to see those letters APR after my name because so many other professionals that I looked up to also had those letters after their name. And I said, well, that would be a really great accomplishment for me. So please apologize. The allergies this fall have about taken me out. So please forgive the sniffles. So that was my first focus, was I just wanted the letters. What I realized after talking to more people and attending more interest group meetings was that I really would benefit from the beefing up of my knowledge and skills in certain areas because my degree is in English. It's not in public relations or a certain more specific communications field. So while my writing skills were sufficient, I didn't learn in college a lot about the formula or the steps to take when there's an ethical dilemma in the public relations field, for example, or some finance laws that would be pertinent to someone in the communications field if it were a trademark issue or disclosure, that kind of thing. So while the letters initially attracted me, I started to realize that I really would feel more confident and feel more useful, really, to my employer because I would have these skills. And of course, as I studied in the study groups over the years, I'll get to the years in a minute, I realized even more little pockets of information that I didn't even realize that really fascinated me. And also, I felt really good to have that in my backpack skills or my toolkit. So things like I mentioned, the ethics, the whole concept of what to do when your gut says, whoa, but your brain says, well, how do we logically go through some method of explaining, here's what would be the appropriate ethical thing to do in this scenario. I just thought that was so fascinating. Anyway, other things that caught my eye were I knew how to do a focus group on a surface level, but really understanding many more of the specifics. Okay, if you're going to do a focus group of these type of people, for example, new parents, here's the time that we would recommend you do it during the day, or here's how much. I mean, it was fascinating. So anyway, I have benefited, well, much more than just the letters after my name, which I do appreciate. The years I mentioned earlier, I was qualified in I think it was 2015 or 2016. It is now, if you look at your calendar, it is now 2022. I was so nervous, and then I didn't feel like I was ready. So every year I attended the interest meeting and took what I could from that, and then got a little excited, and then got very nervous. And every single accreditation director, or now they're called credentialing directors, of every year I attended, they were like, you can do it. Trust me. we have a study guide, we have study groups, you can ask for what you need. You can also, there's plenty of resources online. And I just said, oh, I'm not ready. Which I think truly I wasn't quite ready in terms of excitement or motivation, I guess. I'm not quite sure what didn't grab me. So finally, I guess it was 2019, I started studying very intensely with a few members who were in our study group. The credentialing director, we met up for coffee. I think it was once a week or once a month. In the evenings, it was great. We got through most of the study guide. And then as I was sort of feeling comfortable, but not quite there yet, the pandemic happened. And everything sort of went, I mean, you remember, I don't need to go into it, including my personal, like, I can't focus on this. So that was 2020. And then I got nervous again. Also, people were still figuring out, well, how would someone take the exam? Would it be online? We'd have to make sure they weren't using notes. Like, how do we? So they were all figuring that out. So I said, okay, not right now. Then, in earnest, I began again. I had just completed and submitted an image award that spring for something that I really felt was worthy of a panel presentation, which I knew was a component of the APR process. So I said, before I forget everything, I need to get this rolling. I need to format it how I want to present it. I need to answer all the questions that you do in advance of the panel. Thankfully, our director of credentialing, Kelly, walked me through everything and helped me really refine the answers to those questions, that questionnaire that you do before the panel presentation, so that it was the best that it could be. Sometimes when you're so inside of a project, you can't see from the outside what people are going to ask about or what's missing. So that was really helpful. And studied with friends, especially our current director of credentialing, Lauren Helm, APR. And we got down to some really specific nitty gritty memorization, some kind of like drills. And then I finally felt comfortable to take the exam. I will also say I did pay in March of 2021. I said, okay, I'm going to pay, I'm going to get it done. The deal is you have to complete your whole process and take the exam within a year. And I thought, surely I would be fine before then. But I pushed it to the limit. And honestly, that deadline really did help in the long run, because I was going to run out of time and that payment would have disappeared. So now I know, well, I already knew that, but now I really know that that's how I get something done, is I pay and then it's out of my hands. I have 12 months to finish it. And that actually worked really well. So I did. I took everything in time and was able to earn my APR. It was a wonderful process, not only for my own personal experience, but I think it bonded members together, and it helped. I mean, I still remember sitting at Catalina Coffee with friends studying in the evening after work. I always looked forward to that. I remember Kelly led study sessions online, and I remember getting to see members that were also on that group that I didn't really get to see otherwise. That was really fun to see them just for an hour, and especially while we were all working from home. It was like, oh, people. And then getting to do the study kind of like drill sessions with Lauren, both of us supporting each other in our effort to earn the APR credential. So now I have my printed APR certificate. which is pretty cool. This I got as part of the FPRA annual conference. This August. So anyway, that's my process. It was a wonderful experience, and I highly recommend having a spiral bound study guide that you can highlight and making note cards. But I also highly recommend bonding with other members, with study groups, study buddies, because I think that's more fun. You get to make friends. You get to sort of be in the hardcore study experience together, toughing it out, and then also getting a chance to celebrate each other's successes, which is just the most fun ever. So anyway, that's my testimonial.